Okay, greetings clarophiles and clarophilettes. In this video we're going to continue our French embouchure series, and this one's going to be a kind of important one. It's a little down the road from where because we haven't even started on like how to do this formation yet, but just as kind of forewarned as forewarned, the high C is a big problem on the clarinet for double lip players. Actually, for most clarinet players are very kind of afraid of playing high C. But the high C is a bigger problem for double lip players, especially when they're starting out, because all you've got is the thumb pressing into the upper lip, thumb covering the thumb hole, and the register key, pressing the register key down. So I'm going to give you some fingerings that's going to help you how to counterbalance that upward pressure. It's going to make it a lot easier to play high C. And the other thing is that I'm going to do a demonstration of playing the clarinet as I talked about, with only really a small amount of mouthpiece. You're not taking a large amount of mouthpiece in your mouth. Some people may have gotten the impression that, you just put a small amount of mouthpiece in your mouth and then you should be able to play everywhere. No, you can't do that. You have to fit your reeds to the mouthpiece so that you can do that. Remember in the little monograph I read where Wright says that the sound has to be there, okay? The sound's not going to be there unless you make it there, and that is through adjusting the reeds properly, learning how to adjust them. And couple that idea with the idea that I've constantly banged away at, and that is that you conform your equipment to your mechanics, not your mechanics to your equipment. So you've defined how it is to play efficiently. And then you have to adjust your reeds and fit your reeds so that you actually can play all over the registers of the clarinet throughout in different dynamic ranges with only a small amount of reed and mouthpiece. And the reason you do that is because you have a lot more control. So anyway, I'm going to be demonstrating that first, and then we're going to go on and talk about and do the presentation on the different high C fingerings. Now, a lot of these fingerings and other fingerings are in my book, Clarinet Fingerings, which was actually published in 1985, way back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. It might be helpful for you, especially playing double lip. There's a multiplicity, I think it's over 200 fingerings for the upper register, including all kinds of fingerings to help you make the transition from the second register, top of the second register, into the third register, or what's known as the upper clarion to the altissimo. If you don't have, a lot of people already own that book because it's pretty much a standard text, but you can pick it up and we sell it cheap. I don't think we sell it for much more than we sold it for back in 1986, 1987. Here's first of all the demonstration of playing with only a small amount of mouthpiece. First, I'm just going to play, and you're going to see the video, and then next you're going to see get a close-up of me doing largely the same thing. Okay, and now I'm not going to show up again after in the rest of this video. So adios. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, we're going to see if we can get something going here. The first fingering is going to be one where you see me lift with the thumb and then support the clarinet with this finger on the rod of the key. Okay, now the second support is with the F C key, or even the A flat key if you have to. So there we go, just that. The other thing is the third finger in for the high C, and this, if necessary, and the side key. Okay, and then one of the other options is simply all three fingers down and the side key. This one's particularly good because it eliminates a lot of the disturbance from using all these fingers at once. Okay. Now, one little known fingering is actually primarily the B flat. When you're in an F scale or a B flat scale, it's a B flat to C trill. Not a very good trill, but listen to it in context. And one thing you can't feel is that this fingering, which is just like B flat here with the two bottom side keys, this is a great fingering because it has good resistance and you can play it softly. And when you play B flat to C, and say in the scale it's going up and then down, this eliminates the three finger, all these coordinations, because all you're doing is just pushing this down. Here's a good example I'm sure you're familiar with.